Mein Name ist Oliver Pflüger und ich bin heute zu Gast im Kölner Palladium, denn hier spielt heute eine Band, die seit über 30 Jahren schon ganz viel mit mir macht, emotional, die ich aber tatsächlich noch nie live gesehen habe. Die Rede ist von New Model Army, die spielen hier seit St. Nimmerleinstag eigentlich schon ihre Jahresabschlusskonzerte. Ich glaube, das könnte ein ziemlich emotionaler Tag und Abend für mich werden. Ich hoffe das sogar so ein bisschen. Von daher umso schöner, dass ihr mich dabei begleitet. Kumpel hat mir da noch geschrieben, er ist noch in der Stadt, so letzte Weihnachtsgeschenke kaufen, ist ja der letzte Samstag vor Heiligabend. Ja, was mache ich jetzt? Ich treffe Mastermind von New Model Army, Justin Sullivan. So Justin, how does it feel like? Is it like kind of a living room after, I don't know, almost 25 years coming to this place?
It's bigger than my living room. But,
Really?
It's very familiar, yeah.
I did some research.
Good.
And it was a little bit funny because in 2000 it was a history tour, and 25 years later you still come back here, right?
It's become a kind of tradition. It is strange to come back to the same place every year, but it's become tradition.
Yeah.
So
But you can't remember how it started.
no, I don't remember much. I'm old and I'm allowed to forget now, and I think that I read somewhere that the key to a happy life is good health and a bad memory.
Yeah.
And I
Live now.
Yeah, I've sort of forgotten lots of things, and I don't really, I haven't got any of our records. I haven't got any I don't really keep old photographs. I don't.
Yeah.
I just
You're not sentimental.
not really, and I've forgotten lots of things, and that's all right for me. I don't. Yes, it doesn't matter. Today is today.
The Rock Palace did a lot of recordings, especially in this venue here.
Yeah.
Did you watch it? How many times? Once a year? No.
I don't think I've ever watched the one we did in 2022. The recent. I watched
40th
the one.
anniversary.
Yeah, I don't think I watched that. Maybe I watched the 2006 one we did here, which was really good actually.
Yeah.
But the WDR do make very good recordings.
We hope
You've all the best rock, all the best footage of very old bands like ZZ Top and people like that from the 1970s, 80s. It's always Rock Palace.
Yeah.
It always sounds good and looks good. And that's not true of all TV companies.
Und natürlich spielen New Model Army ihre Weihnachts- oder Vorweihnachtsshows nicht komplett alleine, haben sich alte Freunde eingeladen. In diesem Jahr die Levelers sind seit 1988, glaube ich, auch schon am Start, also auch schon so richtig lange. Und auch die kriegen natürlich einen Soundcheck. Guys, the evil master question in the first place.
Yeah.
When have you been here the last time?
12 years ago. 12 years ago?
Whoa, we have a winner.
Oh.
2013, right?
Yeah, I was talking to Justin, New Model Armies, about it, yeah. Was that 12 years ago? Yeah, it doesn't seem like it. But
If you'd have told me that was 2 years ago, I'd have gone, yeah.
Yeah, of course. 212, whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Same thing to me.
Do you remember that show?
Yeah, it was good. It was really good. Yeah, it was great.
Yeah.
That's why we came back 12 years later.
Yeah. When I first saw this billing, like Levelers are playing with New Model Army, I thought like this is a perfect match because I think you share the fans as well.
yeah, we got a very similar fan base, so I think it's a good billing as well, yeah.
When did you meet the guys for the first time, New Model Army?
Probably 1990.
1990.
1990, yeah.
He's good with numbers.
Yeah, that's all he's good at.
Yeah, and cutting light over.
You're around since like 1988. What are still the moments where you think like, okay, that makes total sense for me to still play in this band?
Sex and drugs.
That.
Yeah.
Being on stage.
Yeah.
Yeah. And the sex and drugs, obviously.
Yeah.
He can't even remember that.
Rock'n'Roll-Alltag, die Band will proben. Die Aufbauer wollen aufbauen. Jetzt sind sie fertig. Is the last record always your favorite record?
The next record was always my.
Okay, that's a
I don't know. No, I've got the favourite bits all the way through 45 years.
Yeah.
It's difficult when we We're going to have a big argument later about what to play tonight. Mike was doing great, but he's still playing in a large amount of pain and difficulty. But
Yeah. I mean, he's a drummer. What can I say? Yeah. So half of the songs you already created are like in your mind, and you could play them right on, right?
yeah, like I said, we basically know a lot of songs, you know, that we could play without thinking too much about.
It's impressive. I heard the same about Bruce Springsteen's E Street Band.
Right.
This is kind of the same thing, but sometimes he shocks the rest of the band because he comes on stage along with a song they haven't played like 10 years ago, and that I rehearse on stage, right?
Oh, well, maybe that's because it's Bruce Springsteen's choice.
Yeah.
The New Model Army is not my choice. It's a very much, it's very much a kind of collective.
Okay.
And we argue about everything.
So, kurz nach 18 Uhr, Einlass war jetzt noch nicht. Hier ist so der Backstage-Ausgang. Und ich gehe jetzt mal nach vorne, schon vors Palladium, weil, wenn Justin Sullivan einmal wieder zur großen Messe bittet, so, dann sind die meisten eher pünktlich.
Ich würde sagen, dass das heute so das 40. Mal ist.
Nein!
Also mein erstes New Model Army Konzert war 91 in der Philipshalle.
Wow, ja.
Auch ein Weihnachtskonzert. Und dann schon so einmal im Jahr. Und in manchen Jahren auch zweimal.
Ne?
Dieses Jahr ist es das 3. Mal.
Wo hast du dieses Jahr schon gesehen?
In Coesfeld in der Fabrik im Juni. Dann in Münster, ich komme aus Münster. Und heute hier.
Wie oft hast du New Model Army schon live gesehen?
Noch gar nicht.
Zum ersten Mal heute?
Zum ersten Mal.
Alter, ich auch.
Sehr gut.
Und wie lange kennst du die Band schon? Boah, ich auch.
Justin alleine ist einfach mega cool. Also
Ja.
ihn auch alleine, wenn er da singt auf der Bühne, ist einfach tolle Texte,
Ja,
gute Atmosphäre,
ja,
coole Leute auch.
Ist eine Familie.
ja.
Es ist wirklich eine Familie. Also ich bin gespannt, wer gleich drin ist. Normalerweise ist hier Weihnachtskonzert, da trifft man auch immer Gott und die Welt. Also man sieht sich auch immer wieder auf den Konzerten.
Ah ja, okay.
Und das ist auch das Schöne.
Vor allem so einmal im Jahr, das ist ja dann wirklich
Ja, genau. Also immer vor Weihnachten, das ist, das Ding ist gebucht.
Ja.
Ganz klar.
Klassentreffen der Verdammten.
So in etwa, ja. So in etwa.
Für mich ist diese Band ein Gesamtkunstwerk von den Plattenartworks über die Einstellungen bis hin. Es gibt ja diesen Spruch One Family, One Tribe und gerade so dieses Weihnachtskonzert ist dann immer so ein Highlight am Ende des Jahres.
Ja.
Und ich finde auch, sie haben nichts von ihrer Energie eingebüßt über die Jahre.
So, ich wollte gerade meine journalistischen Sorgfaltspflicht etwas nachkommen. Ich wollte noch ein Interview mit der Merchandiserin machen von New Model Army und heute Nachmittag meinte sie so, ey, komm vorbei, ist kein Ding. Und dann waren wir gerade mit der Kamera da und dann meinte sie so, so direkt ins Gesicht mich filmen und so und dann ins Internet und so, ist nicht so ihr Ding. Respektieren wir natürlich auch. And I've never seen you live before. I'm really looking
You've
forward.
never seen it?
I've never done it.
Oh,
No Rest for the Wicked was my third record ever.
Ah.
And I still can't believe, because I was a bassist in a band as well.
Aha.
And after a couple of years, I listened to this record again. I was like, he's playing a fucking bass solo all the record long.
yeah. That's a bass solo, that song.
It's
There's a couple of ones. Island is another bass solo all the way along.
Yeah.
We've had four amazing bass players.
What keeps you still going? What's still the best part playing in this band?
I think there's two things. One is the playing live. You know, we're a live band. We love playing together. You know, everything is always real. There's no click tracks. There's nothing like this shit.
No triggers.
There's no trigger. There's a keyboard that does stuff, but it's all done in real time. There's no no click track.
Real finger.
Yeah, real finger. That's one thing. The other thing is creativity. You know, it's like we're kind of free to do whatever we like. So, you know, we've always got ideas. So turning ideas into songs is it's work. So I don't really like doing it because it's work, but you kind of love it when it's done.
Yeah, of course. Are the lyrics you wrote like in the 80s? Like there was like Cold War going on. Others feel like different today or
It's interesting. We played
relevant again?
We've been playing on this tour, we've been playing a couple of old songs. We've been playing Christian Militia.
Yeah.
Which could be written yesterday about
Totally.
J.D. Vance.
Yes.
You know, there's that. And there's some other old songs like, Fidge First Date or something where it's still true, but the context is new. It is interesting how many songs, they don't date. I think there's something is true at a certain time, it remains true.
Yeah.
It's not a political, what we do is a political statement, but not really. You know, the politics in the band, there is some, but it's not the point of the band. We're not, there are some bands that came out at the same time as us, like Crass or Chumbawamba or, you know, these.
That was politics. Yes.
Which was purely politics.
Yes.
The purpose of the music is the politics.
Yeah.
That was never true with us. Where the purpose of the music was the music. And it just interests me to write about the world.
Maybe like being just human.
Yeah, there you go. Just being cute. Yeah, that's probably the best way to put it.
Yeah. Right before you go on stage, do you have a kind of a ritual of something you always do?
Yes.
Do you listen to music? Do you warm up?
No,
What do you do?
we don't listen to music. We do warm up.
How?
All these things are secret. One of the things that the modern era requires bands to give content. You know, on your social media, content. You know, scenes from behind the. We're very private.
Yeah.
What we do, how we make music, what we do before we go on, that's private.
Yeah.
And we keep it like that.
Yeah. It fits to you as a band. I can't imagine you being like on Instagram and posting stories like every day.
No.
They're fake profiles, right?
Well, I mean, we have it. There is someone that puts stuff on Facebook, but not very much.
Yeah.
But never stuff from behind the scenes.
Yeah.
We like, you know, how we work as a band is kind of, it's our business.
So, next up, wir nähern uns langsam. The Levelers. Cheers. Wie oft hast du New Model Army schon live gesehen?
60, 70 Mal.
60, 70 Mal. Okay. Ich glaube, diese Frage ist durchaus legitim. Was zur Hölle machen die mit dir und deinem Herzen und deinem Hirn, dass du diese Band schon so oft gesehen hast und immer noch live sehen willst?
Ich glaube, wir sind damit aufgewachsen tatsächlich im Ort. Die alte Punk-Szene, die wir damals hatten, auf dem Dorf in Norddeutschland. Ja. Die Jungs sind einfach authentisch. Ne? Gerade Justin immer wieder, ne? Ob er schlecht gelaunt ist oder nicht. Ne? Wir haben jetzt überall in Deutschland diverse Male gesehen und der hat immer Bock. Ne? Und sie sind politisch, ne? Sie sind links, sie sprechen an, was Missstände sind. Ne? Gerade auch finanzpolitisch, ne? Und kriegstechnisch. Es ist einfach authentisch, diese Band.
Wirklich jedes Mal der Moment, wenn er reinkommt und wie ein Konzert anreißt. Und es ist jedes Mal ein anderes Gefühl, das er mitbringt und das durch den Raum geht.
Dein erstes New Model Army Konzert heute? Wie viertes?
Heute ja.
Oh, Freunde der Sonne, Levelers war schon richtig geil so. Aber jetzt kommt die Band, auf die ich, wenn man es mal so grob runterbricht, schon seit über 30 Jahren warte, dass ich die mal live sehen darf und kann. New Model Army. Und ich sag mal so, Zitterlevel. And it's always sold out, right?
It's not always sold out.
What?
The last few years have been sold out. We seem to be doing okay.
Yeah.
I mean, we don't really think about it very much.
Yeah.
But we seem to be doing okay.
Yeah.
We've never sort of worried too much about how popular we are or aren't. It's just there's, you know, look in the fridge and there's food there.
Yeah.
And enough money to make the next record. So, and it's difficult, you know, we have 250 songs.
Oh,
we're going to play 20.
Yeah.
You know, so.
But do you got like a certain stock of songs, like 10 you always play? plus 10, you will like.
There's probably about 100 and probably about 120 that we could just play like that.
Whoa.
So
You could play like 7 hours in a row, theoretically. Liebe Leute, ich glaube, es ist mir gestattet, dass ich einmal ganz tief durchatme. So, was für mich hängen bleibt, ist erstmal so, und das ist durchaus positiv gemeint, wie wenig hat der Justin, den ich heute Nachmittag interviewt habe, mit dem Justin zu tun, den ich auf der Bühne gesehen habe. Und das finde ich total geil, weil man hat einfach gemerkt, so wie sehr er das auf der Bühne lebt so und wie viel das auch mit mir macht. So. Ich muss das, glaube ich, erstmal ein bisschen sacken lassen. Wie ist es bei euch? Habt ihr auch schon mal Konzerte gehabt so von Bands, die ihr vorher schon gefeiert habt und dann wusstet ihr nicht so, ja, was macht das jetzt mit mir? Haut's mal in die Kommentare, freuen wir uns. Und in diesem Sinne mach ich jetzt einfach mal einen Deckel drauf und sag, haut rein und abonniert. Yes, den Rockpalast.